This is part 1 of the video series on how to use MuleSoft to get data in and out of NetSuite. In this first part, we're going to poll NetSuite for approved sales orders every 5 minutes. As soon as there's a sales order which is approved, we're going to transform that object in a particular format, and then just for the purpose of seeing the result on the console, we're going to log this approved sales order. In a realistic scenario, you will be able to use this object to connect to another system or send the message out to any third-party application. But in this video series, we are just going to log this data. This is what the NetSuite dashboard looks like for approved sales orders. As you can see, there is 2 orders which are here in the queue for awaiting my approval. When we will actually run the project after completion, we will approve these orders to see them being printed on the console. Here I have opened the Anypoint Studio, which is the IDE from MuleSoft. I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. I'm going to call it NetSuite Approve SO Polar. As soon as I hit finish, it will go ahead and create my project. The first thing I'm going to do in this is drag the poll activity from my palette onto the canvas. I am going to change the frequency to poll for every 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and drag a processor chain where I am going to copy and paste the NetSuite connector from the palette. Now for using a NetSuite connector, you would need to create a connector configuration. We are going to be using a basic login authentication. As you can see, the connection parameters do not need to be hard-coded. These are property placeholders, the values of which can be stored in the muleapps.properties file. I'm now going to go ahead and test this connection to ensure that I am able to successfully connect to my own NetSuite instance. Since the test connection is successful, I'm going to now go ahead and select the operation. In this case, we're actually going to search for the specific transactions. So I'm going to select search as my operation. I'm going to select transaction as my record, and I'm going to hit save. Now I will go ahead and drag the actual transform message component before my NetSuite. This is the data weave component, which is going to actually create the payload, which is going to be sent to NetSuite. As you can see, it already senses the metadata for the NetSuite application. And so all I need to do is actually fill out the payload, which is going to be responsible for searching for the approved sales orders. I have now pasted the actual payload which is required to search for the approved sales orders in NetSuite. Now that the process for actually polling NetSuite and getting the approved sales orders is over, I'm now going to go ahead and put another transform message outside to process. In this particular transform message, all I'm going to do is to create a transformation such that I can print the payload. I have now filled in the actual data weave transformation required to sense the data from NetSuite and have it as a part of my payload. I'm now going to go ahead and create a logger. The logger is going to actually print the message. So our project is now complete. Now if I run my project, as you can see, as the Mule engine loads, it will try to poll the NetSuite instance and get the approved sales orders. I already have some sales orders in an approved state, and as you can see, it is now polling the approved sales orders and creating a list of that. This concludes our part 1 video.